believers are ummatan wasatan. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us as a middle nation. So what does a middle nation mean? Why did Allah create us as a middle nation? What does it mean? So wasatan, the word wasatan means something that is in the middle. So number one, firstly, it means that we believers are in the center between the prophets and the rest of the mankind. Meaning that before us, they were prophets who came to every nation. And now, because we are the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so after this, and he was the last prophet, now the duty of taking this message forward is upon us. So hence we are the medium, the middle nation. Also, how are we the middle nation is in the fact is the quality in the quantity and the quality. What is the quality? The thing that we have received Quran as the guidance that makes us the balanced nation. So wasatan also means the balanced nation. So physically, spiritually, mentally, intellectually, we are a balanced nation. So what makes a human being complete? What makes a human being balanced is when they have the Quran. When they're learning the Quran, that's what completes the human being. No matter what knowledge they have, no matter how physically fit they are, no matter what the materialistic things or the amount of wealth they possess, a person cannot be balanced until they have the Quran. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this as a duty upon us. So what is the duty of ours? Our core responsibility, the real purpose why we're in this world is to be a medium for guidance for other people. So for the people who have not gotten this message, it is our duty, it is our core responsibility as a middle nation to be a guidance for the entire mankind. So what happens is that, and this is our core responsibility, when a person or a group collectively forgets what's their basic responsibility, then that nation is destroyed and humiliated. No matter how rich, how many resources, how educated that person or that nation or a group of people of that country is, if they leave their core responsibility, they are humiliated. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, reminding us that we are the middle nation, لِتَكُونُوا شُهَدَاءَ عَلَى النَّاسِ, so that you will be witness over the people, meaning Rasulullah will be a witness over people on the day of judgment. وَرَسُولُ عَلَيْكُمْ شَهِيدًا. So we will be witness over these people, the people we take the message to, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be a witness over us on the day of judgment. So the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will either be on our side or be against us. Be on our side, meaning a person who took the message forward, he would be on his side, and a person who left this Quran, right, who took this Quran as something very light, something that is, something that is not important in their life, Rasulullah will be a witness against that person. Okay, and our duty in this world is to wake up people from the sleep of ignorance, right? Ignorance is like a sleep. When a person learns the Quran, when people learn the Quran, or if you have first time, when you start learning the Quran, it's like as if your eyes open. Even though persons spend, many years in this world, right? Depends on when a person got the opportunity to learn the Quran. But the moment they start learning the Quran, whether it's at the age of 40, whether it's 50, whether it's 20, whether it's 15, whatever age they're actually learning and understanding the word of Allah, it is as if they wake up, and it's as if you forget your previous life. It's like you forget. Then your new life starts when you start learning the Quran. So it's like eye-opening. and the rest of the humanity, they're in a sleep. And when a person tries to wake up another person from their sleep, the sleep of ignorance, people get agitated. People get annoyed, right? We shared this example last week that the most difficult task in a house, for example, is to wake up a sleeping person, because they know it's important to wake up. They have very important things in the day to do. They have school to go to or work to go to. But it's the hardest thing. And even for us as a person, right? So this is our duty. And when a person, they forget their core duty, um in the previous ayah number 142, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the change of qibla, right? Why was the qibla changed? Why was it taken? The leadership was taken from the Bani Israel because they strayed away from doing their core responsibility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the responsibility to be a middle nation, to wake up the people from ignorance, to take this book, to take the message. But what did they do? They took the message and they threw them behind their backs, because for them dunya became the core center of their life. Okay, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, and this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala humiliated. He took away the leadership. He changed the qibla towards Makkah. And why did he do that? Because to show that the people who do not follow and submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that person is humiliated in this world and in the hereafter. Let's continue. وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها. So we did not make the qibla which you used to face, except that we might make it evident. So why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change the qibla? Why was this another reason why the qibla was changed? لِنَعْلَمَ مَنْ يَتَّبِعُ الرَّسُولَ, so to know who will actually follow the messenger. So when a command is given, who will follow it quickly, and who will start doubting, who will start questioning. And a sign of a person's iman is when a command of Allah comes, they right away follow it. And when a person is praying in one direction, they have to change it. It's a big deal, right? But when the people saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did that, the people who were real true believers, the Sahabas, they right away did it. They right away changed it. That means what we learn is the one who has iman, and part of iman is to follow Rasulullah, to follow his sunnah. So when a person has iman, when the moment they learn any command of Allah, maybe you're not doing it, but when you learn the command of Allah, you just follow it because it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or this command came مِمَّن يَنْقَلِبُ عَلَىٰ عَقِبَيْهِ, or to see who turned behind on their heels, who turned and left, who got, when things are going all good, you just do it. When something becomes hard, the people with weak iman, they become shaky. وَإِن كَانَتْ لَكَبِيرَةً إِلَّا عَلَى الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ. Yes, this is a difficult thing, except for those who Allah have guided. The commands of Allah are difficult, except for the people who really want guidance. For people, sometimes we might come across people we think they would never change, but you don't know what's the state of a person inside their heart. And if a person really wishes to be guided, then they will be guided. But if a person does not want to be guided, they want a little bit of deen and most of dunya, or they just want, just for their satisfaction of their heart. Yeah, I go to this class. Yeah, I read a bit of Quran. Yeah, I pray 5 times. So that's it. So when the intention is not, the goal is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything else, then the command of Allah becomes difficult. Then doing things become difficult. Then coming to Quran or learning the Quran becomes difficult. Then sparing some hours to do some good deeds becomes difficult. Okay. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهَ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ. And Allah does not waste the deeds of iman, here translated as deeds. Okay, the actions. And why does Allah mention this? That Allah does not cause people's deed to go waste, because some Sahabas, they were really really stressed out that if the Qibla changed, what about all the salah that we prayed before the change of the Qibla? So Allah subhanahu is saying that the person who has sincerely done the deeds, even when sometimes, we learn, for example, in our situation, we learn sometimes that some prayer, like we learn tahara, for example, and how to perform proper way of wudu and ghusl, and you learn new things. And now a person starts wondering, what about my old prayers? What about the prayers that I prayed in this manner? Or you learn a proper way. So Allah subhanahu tells that the one who's done the action sincerely, that person, Allah subhanahu does not let go of that action. Inna Allah, Inna Allah bin nasi la raufur rahim. Allah is ever kind and merciful to the people. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells, the command, his reminder is his mercy to the mankind. Right? It is not Allah made us. Allah is reminding us of our main goal, our main center in this life is to worship Him and to take this message forward. Okay, so a person should not run away from this test, and we think this dunya is not for entertainment. Everything that we have in the world, all the things that we do every day, are there to assist us with the main goal, and our main goal is that we're ummatan wasatan, that we are here to learn the message of Allah, to change ourselves and take this message forward. This is our main goal. And everything else that we do, that we have, the relationships that we have, the family, the friends, our education, everything is there to assist us, to help us achieve our spouses, children, friends, colleagues, the country that we live in, the society at large, everything, our physical activities, all of these, the food that we eat, everything is there to assist us to fulfill this main core responsibility, which is to be a middle nation. Okay, so each one of us, this is an extremely important reminder for myself and everyone. We should write it down that my main goal in this world is to fulfill the prophetic duty, which is to take this message forward. And of course, you cannot take it forward until you learn it yourself first. So my main goal is to educate myself in the deen of Allah, in the book of Allah, and take this message forward. How I will do it, everyone has different skills. So my education, my family, my children, my spouse, they are there to assist me. And this is how all of the food that I eat. So in this way, what happens is when a person makes that their goal, then everything else becomes secondary. Then a person's life does not revolve around their children, their spouse. Yes, that is a responsibility Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has set. And then their focus is to build an environment, even at home, which is Islamic. So that helps they, along with their children, along with their spouse, along with maintaining their physical health, with good food, exercise, socially, they're able to take this message, they're able to complete this task. Okay, and then continuing, so next today's ayat, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We will first do the word to word of these ayat quickly. Qad, ayah number 144, Qad, certainly. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the change of Qibla, how it happened, the Rasulullah longing for this to happen, for this to happen, and the reaction of some people when this happened. Okay, so Qad, certainly, Nara, we see, meaning Allah saw, Allah sees, taqalluba, the movement, wajhika, of your face, meaning Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's face, fi, in the direction of as-sama, the sky. So when a person is eagerly waiting for something, like for example, someone's waiting at a bus stop. This is a small example, and they're waiting for the bus. The first thing you'll see that person looking. Are you waiting for someone? Are you outside? The first thing you will do is you keep looking in that direction. So Rasulullah sallallahu, he was waiting for the revelation to come for the change of qibla. As just a reminder, when the Muslims, the believers, they migrated to Medina. So they were facing Jerusalem, okay, as their qibla, and this qibla was changed to Kaaba, okay, upon the command that here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the command to Rasulullah sallam, through a revelation, that the qibla was changed from Jerusalem, from Bayt al-Maqdis to the Haram, where the Kaaba is. Okay, so فَلَا نُوَلِّيَنَّكَ, so surely we will indeed turn you towards qiblata, a prayer direction, tardaha, you will be pleased with it. So Rasulullah, why did he want the Kaaba? Of course, that was because of the love for the Kaaba, right? It's a sunnah from Ibrahim alayhi salam, from continuing from there, right? The Kaaba is a central part of a person's, it is even geographically located in the central part of the world, and it is a place. So this is a place from the sunnah of Ibrahim alayhi salam, okay, a beloved place for a believer. So this was his birth city. Mecca was his birth city. A person where he grows up, they grow up. That's something they naturally have affinity and love for that place. No matter where you move, the place where a person grows up, that's the place that they develop the most love for. And that was the feeling of Rasulullah. Even when he migrated to Medina, his heart always kept turning towards Mecca. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we saw your face turning towards they would keep looking up at the sky, waiting for the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for the change of qibla, فَوَلِّ, so you turn wajhaka, your face, shatara, towards Masjid al-Haram, the masjid, the sacred mosque. So why is the Kaaba, or the area surrounding the Kaaba, is called Masjid al-Haram? So Masjid al-Haram is the area, or Haram is the area that where the Kaaba is, and its adjacent location. So surrounding its surroundings, and you will see now there is a masjid built around it, right? So why is it called Haram? Because in this place it's violated. So you cannot. Killing or hurting or any kind of violation is not allowed in this place. That's why certain things become haram, which are usually allowed in other areas of the world, other parts of the world, but they are haram in this particular area. This is why it's called Masjid al-Haram. وَحَيْثُمَا, and wherever kuntum, you all are, فَوَلُّوا, then you all turn, wujuhakum, your faces, shatarahu, towards it. So wherever a person is, wherever they are, wherever you're traveling, you leave your house, you leave the city, you leave the country, where do you turn? You turn towards wherever you have to, meaning when you have to pray. You cannot just pray anywhere that you like. You have to face the qibla. You have to turn your face towards that, your body towards that. وَإِنَّ, and indeed, الَّذِينَ, those who utu, they were given al-kitab, the book. So the people of the book, لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, people of the book, meaning the Jews and the Christians, لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, surely they know, أَنَّهُ, that indeed it, meaning the change of the qibla, al-haqqu, is the truth, min, from Rabbihim, their Rabb, وَمَاللَّهُ, and not Allah, بِغَافِلٍ, is at all unaware, amma, about what يَعْمَلُونَ, they do. وَلَا in, ayah number 145, وَلَا in, and surely if, آتَيْتَ, you brought to الَّذِينَ, those who utu, they were given al-kitab, the book, bikulli, with every ayatin, a sign. So you brought to the book, people of the book, every sign that this is the true qibla. This qibla had to change. And again, the sign of the last prophet was also that this qibla would be the Kaaba. Okay, so this was also there, and they were well aware of it. The people of the book, the Bani Israel, meaning the Jews and the Christians, were well aware of this thing. But Allah is saying that even if you give them all these kinds of explanation, ma tabi'u, then they would not have followed قبلتك, your prayer direction. وما, and not أنت, you, بتابعين, are at all one who follows قبلتهم, their prayer direction. وما, and not بعضهم, some of them, بتابعين, are ones at all who follow قبلة, prayer direction, bad, of some others. Meaning you should not follow their. So when you have the truth, basically when you get the truth, you should not be following the. Once you learn about Allah's book, you should not go onto the ways of the people who do not have this book. In fact, you should be the one bringing them. Wala in, and surely if ittaba'ta, you follow ahwa'ahum, their desires, min ba'di, after ma what ja'aka, it came to you, min of ilmi, the knowledge, innaka, indeed you, إذا, in that case, lamin, surely would be al-zalimin, those who do wrong. Alladina, those who ataynahum, we gave them al-kitab, the book, la ya'rifunahu, they recognize it, they know about the book, meaning the previous nations, the people of the book, the Ahlul Kitab, they know about this book, they know about the commands of Allah, kama, just as ya'rifuna, they recognize abna'ahum, their sons, meaning they know about this book, they know this book, Allah's book is the truth, just how a person recognizes their own children. Wa inna, and indeed, fariqan, a party, minhum, of them, la yaktumuna, surely they hide, al-haqqa, the truth. This talking about the scholars of Bani Israel. They would hide the truth. They knew the book, but they would hide it for their own benefit. Al-haqq, wahum, while they ya'lamun, they know, al-haqqu, the truth, min is from Rabbik, your Rabb. فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ, so you indeed do not be, min, among, mumtareen, those who doubt. So even when people object about they're completely, because objections, what happens when a lot of people object something, it creates doubt, even a person is trying to follow the right thing. So just because Allah says this is the haqq, you do not be among the person who is doubting. Ayah number 148, لِكُلِّ وِجْهَةٌ, is a direction, huwa, he, mawalliha, is one who turns towards it. Everyone has a focal point, everyone has direction, everyone has a priority. فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ, what should your priority be? To race towards khayrat, all the good. So khair is singular for khayrat. You must have heard the word khair. Khayrat is plural. It means a person should run towards goodness. So every person has a focal point. For believer, what is the focal point? To do good deeds. In order to do good deeds, a person has to have iman, and iman increases by learning the book of Allah. Aynama, wherever, takunu, you all are, ya'ti bikumullahu, Allah will bring you all jami'a, together. Inna, indeed, Allah ala, over, kulli, every, shay'in, thing, qadir, is ever able. Wa min haythu, and from wherever, kharajta, you go out, fawalli, and then you turn, wajhaka, your face, shataral, towards masjidil haram, towards the sacred mosque, which is haram. Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is repeating this. It is important for us that wherever we are, this is also very important for salah. Whenever we are outside, again, the reason for this is so important. Salah is invalid if it's not in the direction of the qibla. So a person, that's one of the things that are required for establishing the salah, is to face the qibla. So that's why I say, wherever you are, turn towards the qibla. Wa innahu, and indeed it, lalhaqqu, is surely the truth. Is surely the truth, min, from Rabbik. Wama, and not Allah bighafilin, is at all unaware, amma ta'malun, about what you all do. Sorry, I just received message. So yes, you guys, some of you guys do not have the word to word for this. So if you'd like, I can share with you the empty. You can take if you want the physical book, you can get that, or if you want a digital copy of the book without the word to word, so you can fill in yourself. So just message me after this, after the class, and inshallah, I will arrange it for you for the next week, inshallah. Okay, we'll still go over the word to word before we go over the ayat. Okay, just a couple more ayat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. ومن, and from, حيث, wherever, خرجت, you go out, فولي, then you turn, وجهك, your face, شطر, towards Masjid al-Haram, the sacred mosque, وحيث ما كنتم, and wherever you all are, فولوا, then you all turn, وجوهكم, your faces, شطره, towards it, لِأَلَّا, so that not, يَكُونُ, there is, لِلنَّاسِ, for the people, عَلَيْكُمْ, against you all, حُجَّةٌ, an argument, إِلَّا, except, الَّذِينَ, for those who, ظَلَمُوا, they have done wrong, minhum, among them, فَلَا تَخْشَوْهُمْ, so you do not fear them, وَخْشَوْنِي, you only fear me, وَلِأُتِمَّ, so that I complete, نِعْمَتِي, my favor, عَلَيْكُمْ, upon you all, لَعَلَّكُمْ, so that you all تَهْتَدُونَ, you all obtain guidance. So what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling? That His guidance, His completion of guidance is giving us a qibla, a direction. And a qibla is not just to face one direction, it is a qibla of our life. The center point of our life is what? It is the deen of Allah. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And every person has a qibla in their life, metaphorically, right? But a person's goal should be to make the direction of the central focus point of their life, to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the center of their life. And number 150, so we will end at 152. Okay, just two more ayah. Kama, just as, Arsalna, we sent. So the favor of Allah was the qibla, just like another favor, kama, just like. What is the other favor? Arsalna, we sent, fikum, among you, rasulan, a messenger. So another blessing of Allah, He just didn't give us the book, He gave us a man who taught us how to apply the book. Minkum, from you all. He's not supernatural human being. He's not a supernatural being or something different. He was just like us, a human with emotions, with body physically that can get tired, that can get ill. So a human being just like us. This is also a blessing. Yatlu alaykum, he recites upon you all ayatina, our verses, wa yuzakkikum, and he purifies you all, wa yuallimukum. So when a person learns the ayat, their heart gets purified, their heart gets cleansed. That should be the point. What is to tazkiyah, the meaning of tazkiyah is to remove the evil and to replace it with something good, to take out the evil from one's heart and to replace it with good. That is tazkiyah, and that happens when a person recites. So recitation of the Quran is also very important. Wa yu'allimukum, and he teaches you all, al-kitab, the book, so learning the book, wal hikmah, and hikmah here means the sunnah of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wa yu'allimukum, and he teaches you all, ma, what, lam takunu ta'lamun, you all did not used to know. Fazkuruni, so you all remember me. Azkurkum, I will remember you all. Washkuru, and you all show gratitude li, to me. Wala takfurun, and you all do not be ungrateful to me or show ingratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, let's just briefly go over the brief tafsir of these ayat. So alhamdulillah, while doing the word to word, we went over some of a quick meaning of these ayat, but just go a little bit in detail. So ayah number 144, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ. Allah subhanahu says that O Rasulullah, we saw you turning to your head towards the Qibla. This again shows Allah's love for Rasulullah. Allah subhanahu recognizing small actions of Rasulullah. When someone, when you think of people in this world, when a person loves another person, or they value another person, even they notice even the smallest of their actions, not just words but gestures too, like where this person is looking, or what they're thinking. They're worried about these things. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this shows for Allah's love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Allah is saying, I see when you turn your face towards this qibla, towards Mecca. Okay. And here, because Rasulullah is would continuously look at the sky, waiting specifically for the ayah about the change in the revelation, a change in the qibla. And what so happened is that this command was given to Rasulullah when he was visiting one of the Sahabis. His name was Bishr bin Bara bin Ma'rur. He was visiting a Sahabi whose name was Bishr bin Bara bin Ma'rur, and the time for Zuhr prayer came. So the time of Zuhr prayer came, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he led the salah, and he would lead the salah, right? He was their imam. So as he was leading the salah, and he was leading in the third rak'ah of the Zohar prayer, this command was revealed. So at the end of second rak'ah, so the believers or the Sahabas, they're already in their prayer. Rasulullah is already leading them in the prayer, and as they're praying their Zohar salah, Rasulullah, he turns 360. He turns completely. He changes his direction, and the Sahabas, they follow him too. Like right away they also change. Like it's not even just like, when a person, sometimes people are praying and they're not in the right complete direct direction, someone moves them a little bit. It's not a little movement, it was a complete movement. He actually had to move in. But the Sahabas followed him, the people, and without any question, without any, even without even breaking their salah. In that whatever, so they were in the third rakah, they got up and then they completely moved. And again, salah teaches a person submission to Allah. So salah teaches a person obedience to Allah, and everyone changed their direction in prayer without asking. This was the time the ayah of the change of qibla was revealed. And one Sahabi, after he had finished praying, he left, and he left the house of Bishr bin Bara, and he left his house, and he was on his way, and he saw the people who did not know about the change of qibla. So these people was performing salah facing Jerusalem. So this Sahabi, while he was passing, he loudly made a comment saying that I just prayed the prayer with Rasulullah facing the Kaaba. And these people who were praying, they were in ruku, and in the state of ruku, they changed their direction without even breaking their ruku. So this was how obedient the Sahabas were. This is without any question. When even a small thing changes in our life, we have so many questions. Why, when, how, this, it becomes so hard for us to comprehend. And while we hear these people are our role model, they're with one single command once, and while in a state of salah, without any question, they just follow. Atiullah wa atiur Rasul. You to follow Allah and to follow the messenger. Okay, so this is why the Sahabas were the selected people, because of their obedience to Allah. Okay, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. So you turn your face towards Masjid al-Haram. حَيْثُ مَا كُنْتُمْ فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ شَطْرَهُ. Wherever you are, that's your place. Wherever you are, you're outside. Wherever you're shopping, you're in a different city or a different country, you're traveling, whatever you're doing, okay, as long as you have the ability to find the qibla, and then turn towards the qibla and pray. وإن الذين أوتوا الكتاب لا يعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم. The people who were given the book, they knew that this is the truth from Allah. The change in Qibla, it was about to happen. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا يَعْمَلُونَ, and Allah is not unaware of what they do. وَلَئِنْ آتَيْتَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ بِكُلِّ آيَةٍ ما تبعوا قبلتك. And if you brought to those who were given the book every sign, they would not follow it. Meaning that the people who don't have the intention to do something, no matter you bring everything to them, everything to convince them, they're not going to do it. So it's a person's heart. So if a person, on the lip, in terms of lip service, a person can say anything, but what really matters, and especially in our deen, is the intention of a person's heart. There's some people, no matter for example, if they really wish to learn the Quran, there's so many resources. We have no excuse. But then if you do not have the intention and other things are the priority, then things will come up. No matter how easy, if learning the Quran, learning the deen is literally a click away now. Just a click, literally a click. It would never, even if you look at the history of the times, it would never have been the easiest to learn as easy it is now with the technology that we have. And still, people are unable to do so if you bring, no matter how much ease you bring, the one who wants to learn, the one who wants to do something, the one who wants to be guided, no matter how difficult something is, they will do it. And the one who does not want to do something, no matter how easy it's made for them, they will not do it. Okay? وَمَا أَنْتَ بِتَابِعٍ قِبْلَتَهُمْ, and you nor will you be follower of their qibla. Do not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us, do not start following them. So it's a sign that when we start reading the book, we should not be imitating the actions of the people who do not have knowledge. Okay, once you are aware what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the command, you should change your action, you should change your lifestyle. وَمَا بَعْدُهُمْ بِتَابِعٍ قِبْلَةَ بَعْدٍ, and they themselves not would they be followers of one another's qibla. Meaning the Jews and the Christians, they themselves have opposite qiblas. They don't follow each other's qiblas. They have the Christians turn to one direction of the Bayt al-Maqdis, and the Jews turn towards another direction of Bayt al-Maqdis. Okay, so they do not have a one clear qibla of their own. They themselves turn, they're not united basically. They are disunited themselves. So you don't start following people who themselves are not on the truth, who themselves are weak, who themselves are divided. ولا إن اتبعت أهواءهم من بعد ما جاءك من العلم. So if you were to follow their desires after what has come to you of knowledge, meaning أهواء, meaning their desire of why are you focusing on your qibla. And here qibla is not just the qibla, it's the direction of our life. If you plan to change the direction of your life and people have objection with it, so do not, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, do not go on what people, no matter people objected at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. But here Allah He's reassuring, giving reassurance that this is the haqq. So when your life's qibla is changing, you make a decision, my life's direction is in the way of Allah. No matter what people tell me, what the society tells me, what my environment tells me, or sometimes what my loved ones tell me, if it's against the book of Allah, I'm not going to do it. Okay? Innaka إِذًا لَمِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ, then you would be among the zalimin, the wrongdoers. If you, after gaining knowledge, if a person still follows the ways of the people who are ignorant, that person is doing the greatest zulm on himself. How does a person do zulm on themselves? Right? Zulm, we always think about oppressing other people. Doing zulm on oneself is when a person takes themselves away from Allah's mercy. And Allah's mercy is Jannah. When a person takes themselves closer to the hellfire, they're doing zulm. They become among the zalimeen. They're doing zulm on themselves. الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم. Those who are given those to whom we gave this book, gave the previous books as well, they know him, meaning they know Rasulullah as they know their own sons. So basically, the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, they know about Rasulullah. They knew about his coming, and they knew about this book, that the last book will be revealed to him, and he'll be the last messenger, and they knew about it. It was mentioned in their own scriptures, just like they know their own sons. That means they know how, like a person knows their children so well, right? Any person, even if a person has twins, right? If a parent has twins, a mother, and they're identical twins, a mother, if the world is not able to differentiate, the mother 100% can differentiate, right? She knows which child is which child, right? Like a person, what is the most here? Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving this comparison? Is because the most a person can know is their own children. So they know about Rasulullah as much, so much so, as if a person knows about their own child or their lineage, right? But what do they do? وَإِنَّ فَرِيقًا مِّنْهُمْ يَكْتُمُونَ الْحَقَّ. But a party of them, they hide the truth. وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ, while they know. Meaning the ulama of the Jews, the scholars of the Jews, they would hide the truth. This was like we previously learned also in the previous ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, that the scholars of the Jews, they would not give the entire truth to the people, to the mass. They will keep, they were learned in their books. They knew about the prophet coming, but they would hide it because they did not want the public to follow them, follow Rasulullah. Because once people start following their followers, the scholars followers start following Rasulullah sallallahu, they felt that their power will go. They will no longer hold the power over people. So what they would hide the truth. Okay? And they would not give the complete truth. They would not do complete justice. And this was their common practice. So those people who have iman and justice in their heart, when guidance comes to them, they readily accept. But those who have wrong intentions, they will not accept, no matter how many signs a person brings. Okay, ayah number 147. Al-haqqu min rabbik, and the truth is from your Lord. فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُمْتَرِينَ, and do not be among those who have doubts. So Allah is reassuring the Prophet that this is the truth. Okay, because what happens is when learned scholars start saying certain things, or majority starts saying, even when a person is on the truth, they start becoming shaky, they start becoming doubtful, right? If you see all of the people, or most of the majority of the people around you doing a certain thing which is not according to the deen, a person starts becoming shaky and doubtful. Okay, this is very important. This is why there's certain things that a person needs to do. Of course, learning the book, and also being surrounded by like-minded people on deen. You should have good friendships, okay, because these people will help you stay strong, right? Especially we all live in a society where there is a certain agenda that we're being shown, right? Where there's certain things that certain lifestyle is being promoted in a society, and certain things which are not Islamic, which is not according to our deen. Okay, there are a lot of things like that. And when the majority people, especially learning people, and when people who have education and this and that, and when they start saying something, people get influenced, right? That's why we have influencers now, right? There are so many influencers on social media and this and that, which influence people. Influencers influence people. So this is what happens is, this is why Allah subhanahu says the truth is from Allah. Everything else is battle. It is falsehood. It's from shaitan. Okay. So we should not become doubtful of, if you're doing good, continue to do good. Another way to encourage a person to keep doing good is to surround themselves or keep themselves in an environment that helps them to stay on deen. So good friendship. If you are with friends that are not on deen, either you have influence on them, or you try to be in gatherings and with friends that help you to stay on deen. Okay. ولكل وجهة هو موليها. For every person is is a focal point, a direction. Okay, for every person has a center of life. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking, are telling us, where does a person run to when they have free time? And this is an important question to ask for each one of us, that what is our wijha? What is our direction that we keep turning towards? So it could be, for each one of us, it could be different. Every person, for some people it could be kids, for some person it could be spouse, for some person it could be their education, for some people it could be family, business, entertainment, job, other people, society, different social media. What is the thing that you run to when you have free time? And for some people, it's the Quran. Whenever they find free time, that's what they try to do. They start to learn more Quran, they start to learn more things about the deen or things. So, what is the center of your life? And Allah gives the answer to us. The next part of the ayah, فَاسْتَبِقُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ. Rush towards, compete towards doing good. Don't just do good. Okay, don't just do good, compete with each other. Okay, and to do good, run towards it, because that should be the center. And how can a person be encouraged? How do we know what are the good things? How do we know what are the good deeds? The good deeds are those that please Allah, which are from the Quran and Sunnah. Those are the good deeds. Anything that pleases Allah, any action that pleases Allah, any action of khair that helps a person. So any good action can become, an action of khair. Whether a person is helping someone, or assisting someone, or cooking a meal, or cleaning something, or lending a hand and distributing something. Any action can become khair, okay, as long as a person's intention is for the sake of Allah, and it includes, it is an act of goodness. It's from the Quran and from the Sunnah. Okay, it's not against that. Okay, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that how can uh, our center be, our center and a goal, the nucleus, right? Every cell has a nucleus. If that nucleus is destroyed, our cells have nucleus, right? If the nucleus is destroyed, the cell is destroyed, the cell dies. So that direction, Allah should be our direction. And to get closer to Allah, do more good deeds, engage in more actions that that please Allah. Okay, so our center should be good, for doing good, and run, do compete, because wherever you are, أينما تكونوا يأتي بكم الله جميعا. Wherever you are, Allah will bring you back. Meaning, you can't run away from Allah. Okay, Allah will bring forth your judgment. So there's a saying, turn to Allah before you return to Allah, right? Turn to Allah before you return to Allah. So person needs to turn to Allah before they return to Allah. So you cannot run away from Allah. So Allah is saying, focus on the thing that each and every person is moving towards. And each and every one of us is moving towards our grave. How do we make our stay in that grave better? How do we make our akhirah better? Is by doing good deeds, as much good deeds as you can accumulate, right? When there's a sale in some place, when there is something, what does it for people do? They shop like crazy, right? When there is that holiday season stuff, people shop, people go, with when there is different bonuses and this and that, they go buy one get one free. They do it. So he buy because they want to make the most of it. Here Allah is saying, make the most of your life. How can you make the most of your life? You make Allah the center of your life, Allah the goal of your life. And how do you do that? by doing more acts of good, by being engaged in more more actions that take you closer to Allah. وَمَنْ حَيْثُ ayah number 149. وَمِنْ حَيْثُ خَرَجْتَ فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. So from wherever you go out, where again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning, wherever you go out, turn your face towards Masjid al-Haram. وَإِنَّهُ لَلْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. That is the truth from Allah. وَمَا اللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا تَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah is not unaware of what you do. Meaning, whenever you leave, so again, the qibla, the important thing to here understand is one is the actual qibla, and then one is the symbolic qibla, right? What is the focus of each one of our life? It should be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That should be the goal of our life. Okay, inshallah we will end here on ayah number 149, and inshallah we'll end here, and then couple of ayahs, and then we will finish off this section. Okay, so all in all, today's lesson the major focus on this lesson is very simple. It's what is my qibla of my life? What is the direction I want in my life? Because whatever direction we take, end of the day, we're going to come back to Allah. So a wise person, who is a wise person who plans for, the CEOs of big companies, they are forward thinkers, right? They plan for what's coming ahead. So a wise person plans for the reality, right? A person who's short-sighted, they just get lost in the whims and desires and the glitters. Tomorrow I have to go to work. Okay, I plan out my day. I'm gonna wake up, do this. So a wise person is the one who plans their months, the weeks, right? The year, what in the next coming year, what I'm going to do, right? That person is considered wise. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us a wise person is the one who's focused on doing good, whose center is Allah, and everything else revolves around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like everything, the priority is Allah and everything else is secondary. Everything is there to help them to fulfill their goal of pleasing Allah and and in the previous ayahs, we learned that we are the middle nation. What is our core duty is to learn and take this message forward. Right, inshallah, so we will end here for today's lesson. Okay, we'll take a few reflections. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت ونستغفرك ونتوب إليك. So if anyone would like to share their reflections or whatever they learned from this today's lesson. Okay, Audrika, Isha, any of you?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam wa barakatuhu.
So just like what you said, the focus of our life should be Allah, and like that should be like the center of our life too. So like whenever we're like whatever position we're in life, like if we're going through trials or if we're like happy or whatever, we should always like kind of just like go back to Allah.
Yeah. Whatever situation you're in, like a person has a house, right? Wherever they are, they're gonna come back. They're gonna return back to their house. Okay. So inshallah, anyone else would like to share?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
So nice to come back. Sorry, I didn't come for the previous few lessons because I had a few things. I learned today that we should not follow people. So it says for the people of the scripture, if they don't believe in any of our signs and they won't follow the qibla, and also we shouldn't follow them in any way. That would be like following our desires, and we should not follow the people who don't have knowledge, and not go based on what people are doing or thinking unless they have knowledge, and do not follow the way of the ignorant, because that's like following your desires as well.
Yeah, once a person gains knowledge, their focus should be to change their action. Right? It should not go back to the same lifestyle that they used to. Okay, also inshallah, I encourage people who are in the Mississauga vicinity and around to please come in person. Also to spread this message to other people as well, so that people who learn, if when you bring them in, okay, you also they get the reward and you get double reward for it. Right, so this is a time for stabikul khairat, and one of the ways of doing good is to the greatest good you can do to a person is to bring them towards the book of Allah. That's the greatest, when we think of helping people, the best ways we can wake them up from ignorance. So share this with more people, bring them towards, and you should, and I expect people to come. I'll be calling individually to please come in person, those who, so that, because learning happens with, and there's a lot of barakah of Allah on people when they sit together and learn. It's not about the words, it's just Allah opens up the heart when people sit together in gatherings. Allah's hand is on the jama'ah. Yadullahi ma jama'ah. Allah's hand is on a gathering. This is also a gathering. Yes, alhamdulillah, it's a Zoom. It's great. But when people are in person, that personal touch that we have, that facilitates. So even one ayah, one word has a greater impact on our hearts. Okay. Also, Audrika shared the reflection. We should focus on Allah, meaning that we should always think about Allah, keeping in mind that we should do it in the name of Allah, and just because we want to be seen as a good person. So we should not do anything just because we want to be seen as a good person, but intention should be for Allah. And also it shows that we shouldn't go back to our habits when we're trying to overcome that from the past. Yes, and believer, also one should remember that believer is, it's the state is always back and forth. So it's between tawbah. This is the reason why we have tawbah, right? So when a person goes back to the thing, you make tawbah and you come back to it again. Okay, it's a jihad, it's an effort. All right, inshallah. So please focus on fastabikul khairat, ways of doing goodness. Bring your friends, bring people that you know. This is the best gift. The Quran is the best gift you can give to anyone. You wish well for someone, bring them close to the book of Allah. Okay, so they also get a taste of the book of Allah, and it is like waking up a person from sleep. Okay, anyways, inshallah, we'll end here. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakallah khair to everyone for joining. Inshallah, see you next week. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum salam.
Alaikum.